Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Grayscale. Hopefully I don't have to do a voiceover. I have been asked, excuse my head, I have been asked to do some fur on animals. I'm not really a wildlife guy, but I will give it a shot. Okay, it's not like I haven't painted them before, but it's just not my forte. But I do, through the processes and everything that I'm going to show, I paint a little bit of everything. Right now I'm just wetting up a sponge because it'll help with the background. Okay, let's move on. Let's go ahead with this. I thought about a few particular backgrounds because it's not really going to be the main focal point of this animal. I would have liked to had it put them there larger, but I'll just zoom in and go through the details and such. Okay, this painting obviously would take a couple of stages. You got the background, then you got the middle ground in which he's in there, even though he's the subject, but he's still in the middle ground. Then you got the foreground stuff, this stuff in front of the animal here. So it's a bull moose standing in a big patch of forest. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're gonna do here. I guess, like I said, I'm gonna start off with a little bit of the medium. Okay, now with this medium, it's just glycerin and hair shampoo. That's basically what it is. And I'm gonna just slap that on there like so. Get this started. Up here in the top anyway. I can do it a little bit at a time because it will dry up on you rather quickly. Okay, now this is not porous, so it will sit up on top for a little bit. I really don't need too much of this, but I need enough on so I can move the color around and do what I need to do with it. That's basically it. I'm gonna get a little bit of titanium white, just a little bit on the brush, like that. All right, now I'll put it up here, up top, because I want the semblance of a little bit of clouds or whatnot. So we're gonna have this white work for us. Okay, that's it, just a little bit of white. Now I'm going to my phthalo blue, and I'll darken up the corners. And I'll just X stroke it, just like that. Usually make sure it's pretty decently dark on the corners, usually. Even if the corners are gonna be covered still. Let's pretend they're not going to be. All right, and that's all I need for this right now. Okay, and set this aside for right now. I'm gonna get a nice little blender mop thingy, one of these guys. And what I like to do is to go in circles just for a nice soft blend, just like that. We're not really looking for anything ultra detailed or anything fancy for the clouds, because a lot of this is going to be covered by all types of green and stuff. But what's not covered, we'll make it look like some kind of pretty sweet day. Okay, I'm not really worried about down below because, like I said, a lot of this will be covered. I just want to put a little interest in here. You can wisp some of these guys, okay, and shape them any way you want. The more you blend, see, I can twirl the paint around a little bit. The more you blend, the more it goes into the background. Okay, now when you do something like this, I'm gonna just X stroke very softly. Get some of that out of there. As you do this, you'll get more comfortable of what you can accomplish and what you can do and whatnot. I'm just blending. There's no medium down here, so it doesn't matter. Like I say, the clouds are only going to show just a little bit, but something like that. If I want, I'll take a little bit of white on my brush, just a little speck of white. You should see it right up top. Only a couple pieces of white, and I can brighten up a few things. Let's get it a little more than that. I'm just dragging some more out. It's still got the medium on it. I'm just highlighting a few things just to make it brighter. Like I say, it may get covered, it may not. But I'm just working as I see fit at the time I'm doing it right now. And you don't have to totally blend all of that in. But that's basically, what I want, more or less. As I'm checking it out, I'm looking at it here. I'm gonna dip into a little bit of the dark blue. Just add a little variance in there, just like that, and stir it around. Like so. There. All right, there's a quick cloud there. Now, I got a light on right here. I can shut that off. A little bit of sunlight's coming through, and that shouldn't look too bad for you. You can see my head shadow, but that shouldn't be too much of a distraction. I hope not. But as you can see, it's not as dark as you would think. All right, but I think this is good. What I got going on, this should be fine. Okay, put this down in a perfect world, and we'll put a cute little piece of a mountain just slightly off center, right around in here, just like that. And all I'm looking for is just some uneven peaks, just like that. As you see, I'm not making it grandiose or anything like that. Don't need to be. And that's all I need right here. I don't need no more than that. There. I'm going to take a flat brush. Just found one. I'm going to take a flat brush. I'm going to press and just bring it on out, just like that. I'm going to go on the other side. This mountain doesn't have to be very large. It's just the peak of the mountain here, just like that. And just bring it on out. A lot of this won't be seen either. Not a lot of the mountain, so I can stretch her out. It's okay. Now what I'm going to do with that fellow, I'm going to take a smaller mop brush, just smaller one, and I'm going to, right here on the bottom end, see this? Just fade it a little bit. All I'm doing is going in a circular motion, and it's not as much as the brush as you think as far as usage. Okay, circular motion. Let me switch my hands. Just rubbing it right on out of there, just like that. Crisscross strokes. I can even fade out some of that edge in there, just like that. Rub it right out. I can soften that edge of the mountain there. Gently fade it right out of there. Fade it right out. What you see up there, I'm just rinsing out my brush here. What you see up there, this little bit here, whatnot, that can gently just go away. It's okay. All of that's fine up in there. Because like I said, a lot of this will be covered, so don't worry about that spot. All right, cut a swipe off, and we're gonna play. We're gonna play a little bit. We're gonna get some texture going on this fellow. Let it drag on down like that. Just a little roll of paint. I'm just playing around here. And it'll come off. What wants to come off will come off. As I'm trying to say, as I was getting tongue-tied. What wants to come off will come off. I can come here and play around with it, zip around and go on down with it, just like that. I'm just marbling the dark color with a little titanium white. I'm getting some more titanium white right now. Spread it out, cut a nice little piece off there. And we're gonna just bring it on down. Just like so. this one here, just coming on down. Like I say, a lot of this isn't going to be seen anyway. And once again, he's kind of subdued back there. And you'll see as I go on with this. I'll give him a little more, little darker. A little darker. I'm going to go opposite on the other side here. Just like that. Bring it on down. Really, it's a really quick mountain here. Fade him on out of there, just like that. Now he seems overly dark a wee bit, so I'm gonna just take some titanium white. I'm spreading it out. He's got a little blue in it, but it's all right. It's gonna be brighter than what I had, and I'll just do a few highlights, just like that, down the side here. You see how that brightens it up just a little bit. I don't want to do the whole thing. Not necessary. It'll take off what it needs. I'm not worried about all of that either. That'll be faded. A lot of this will be faded out, so I'm not really too particularly concerned. Get a little something over here on that side, and maybe a little rumble or something here. Okay, that's enough of that for the mountain. All right. Put the small guy there. We're gonna get the smaller mount brush if I can find it. I know I just had it. Not this one in particularly, but it's all right. And we're gonna lightly push upward, push upward, and then we're gonna take the brush and we're going to fade some of that out very lightly. Don't go heavy. You still want to maintain some of the tones and whatnot. Okay, I can get rid of that little smudgy that I just did, but I'm just fading out some of this guy. A couple X strokes. He's kind of really standing out there. Like I said, a lot of this will be, I'll just take some white like this up around in here, just like that. Get a little corner of blue, just like this, and put some around in there too, just like that. I'm going to cover some of that up. And get the brush, the 3 hairs and some air variety again, and we're gonna scrumble up some clouds just to kind of mellow out that mountain a little bit. There we go. See, mix it right in. Same thing on this side. I'm gonna take it, we're gonna stir it around. Very soft. Blend it. A lot of this will be taken care of when I get to the foliage. There. Just like that. Now we got a little something out there. Okay. All right. That's all I really needed for that. We're going to now get into the foliage in the back. I'm going to take this nice little sponge here. I'm going to dip into some yellow with the sponge. I'm going to make a nice swath of color going into my phthalo blue. Okay. And now we're just going to block in a lot of foliage back here. Just like this. Tap it right in. I'm going to get some more. You're going to need plenty of paint. I don't need any medium, just different shades and whatever of paint. All right. Okay. I'm gonna set that sponge over there to dry. Got my handy little towel. And we're going to throw in a few branches and trunks and stuff like that. We're going to throw a few of those in there. Okay. I might tease some highlights or two, and then we'll see how it goes. But like I said, this is not really the focal point. Excuse me. It's just me painting fur, really. I'm going to take a very narrow brush. My goodness, this is like a #1 flat, little tiny guy. Okay, you can do these a few ways. All right, right now I'm going back into a little bit of the umber. Little umber, just a slight touch of yellow in the umber, giving me this really deep, actually, because the umber got more green in it, so it's giving me this really deep brown green. Okay, very tiny brush, and we'll throw in some we'll throw in some trunks in there, just like that. Throw in a few. I mean, you'll see a couple of them stringing around in there, like so. And sometimes it's just all it takes is really a straight line. You don't have to put branches or anything in them. I mean, it's entirely up to you if you want to do that. But I'm just throwing a few in there. Some coming way up there, just like that. I don't necessarily have to highlight them. It's not necessary. You can see by the break. If you go crooked for a couple of them, you'll see by the break in color. You'll see that they're around in there. I'm just getting a little more yellow, adding it in to this little tiny brush. And you go put some down there. Some you'll see, some you will not. But you'll see the indications of these guys. Okay. Really effective if like I said, I'm not going to do any major highlighting with these guys in the back. It's not really necessary. They're kind of covered in shadow a little bit. I'll put some a little closer and we can play around with those. But right now, it's these jokers in the back. You know, give them a little height there for some of them. And all you're really doing is showing that, you know, some of these guys back there are being held up by something, pretty much. Okay, that's basically what this is about. Not necessarily the lighter ones in the back there, but these guys here in the front. All right, I'm gonna clean this off a wee bit. I'll be coming back to this tiny brush when it gets to the scrumbling with the mousse. Okay, now that we got that pretty much set. All right, back there. We're gonna go with a little bit of the foreground stuff, which is particularly a wee bit darker. And for that, we're gonna use some, we're gonna go into some crimson, alizarin crimson. And some sap green. Really browny green. And when you're this close to him, okay, really it takes just a slight touch, to be honest with you. And I'm doing it right now. And it will stand out. There he is. There it is. See? All of this here. I'm getting some more. And all you do really is just it's a tap. kid whose voice is cracking. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. It's this deep color that I made along with ultramarine blue. Okay. I'm just stirring it up with the palette knife right now. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna take 1/2 of this brush. I'm dipping into green, and I'm dipping in sap green, and I'm dipping into the white. Sap green and white on one side of the brush. I'm flipping the brush around. I'm going into that dark mix that I did. So it looks like this. That's the sap green. Nope, that's the dark mix actually. That's the dark mix. That's the sap green and white. Dark mix, sap green and white. I'm going to go sap green on the right hand side on this side, the dark mix on the other side. Okay, and I'm just going to press and go straight line. Just press and keep it going right out of the picture frame, just like that. All right, just like that. I'll do it again. Just like so. All right, that's one down. Get some more dark. Get some more of that green and white mix. Remember the green and white on one side, dark area on the other side. So it looks like that and like that. Aim the light side over there. All right, I'm gonna do another one. Press. I'm gonna do another one right up out of there like that. So you instantly got one side dark, one side light, just like that. Okay. One more time. Dark on one side, the green and the lighter color on the other side. Guess we'll put one. We're gonna press it, and you're just gonna go on up with it. Now I could use the let's get a little dark on that. There we go. Just like so. Keep fading it in. Just like that. I could put a little medium on this and it would flow a lot better. I gotta get a little more titanium white. So hold on one second. Because we're gonna do a couple on the other side, of course. Just can't leave it by himself. Okay, get a little bit of titanium white. Put some titanium right there in the green area. And what I'm gonna do is I'll dip the brush in a little medium. Okay, and it gets the paint flowing a little bit. So I'm dipping it right now into my green and white. I got plenty of this other darker color. This darker color is something else. Pretty. I'm dipping into my medium now. Just a little bit into the medium. I'm going back into my dark, get that medium flowing on the dark side. Turning it around, get the medium flowing on the light side. Okay, it will flow a lot easier. Still in the same direction. Let's go put it down pretty good. We're gonna go that way. Just like so. Out of the frame of the picture there. Just like that. Alright. I got all my branches kind of tilted towards one direction, but that's okay. We'll straighten that out. Getting a little bit of medium, going into my light green and white. Because we're going to get that to flow a little bit better. Only on one side. Going on my dark half. Getting that dark in there. Which also has the medium. Okay. And we'll plop a straight one. At least my version of a straight one. Get it as straight as you can. Get a nice firm grasp. Go upward, upward, upward. If it cuts into the other guy, that's fine. And we're going to do that again. And it blends the two colors together when you do them like this. Maybe we'll make this side a little thicker. And then we come on in. Just like that. Let's establish some roughy bark of some sort for this guy. So I'm going into my titanium white. And I'm going into that dark mixture. Yep, the titanium white and some of this dark mixture. It kind of grays it out. And all I'm going to do is take this on this, I cut this fan brush straight across. And we got it marbled on here. And we're gonna go right on the light side, and we're gonna tap some light areas in there. Just right around the edge there. And we're gonna do the same in here. We're gonna just tap a little bit. Just a little bit there. And we're going on the side here. We're gonna tap a little bit of that brownish stuff right here. Just a couple of taps. Just like that. Just highlight them a little bit. Only on one side though. Don't worry. This color, you might, if it's looking a little strong, it will definitely flatten out as it dries. So don't worry about that. Right here again, it's marbled. A little bit more white. Just getting some more white mixing in there. I want a lighter side. And it just takes a tap. Just like that. Right on this edge, I'm flipping the brush over a little brighter on one side, and we're just tapping it in there. Just like that. Go back in here, add some more of that bright. Just right in there. Just like that. I'm gonna go into, don't seem to have too much of that. Hold on, 1 second, again, sorry. I forget I tend to run out of these colors when I use them like this. I'm going into ultramarine blue because it's the only one that's close to me. All I need is a reflective color in the back there. So I'm getting the blue. A wee bit of white. I didn't wash the brush. And we'll get a little dark in there on this one side in here. To help out that dark side of us a little bit. Just like that. Just like that. Put it right in there. Tap it in there real quick. Just want a dark half. Just like that. Then we're going to go on the other side and do the same thing. This brush I cut myself. I took some scissors and I just cut it flat. Okay. That's all. Do a little bit on this side here. Just a little reflective light. Need a little more blue. Touch of white. Mix it in there. Stir it in there pretty good. A little more blue. That's way too light. Put it on both sides here. Just like that. Remember, if it looks too bright, it flattens out, so don't worry about that. And I'm just tapping it in there. If you got to use the corner of the brush, you can still use the corner of the brush if you would like. Just tapping it in, or you can just turn it to the side. It's got more paint on the side anyway. I think you guys can see everything I'm doing here. I know a lot of detail is going into making fur, right? I know, but you know, just kind of what you get. I'm just not gonna use up my panel and just draw a moose and just leave it there and, you know, have a blank canvas. I won't do that. I'll just do the whole picture. Because once we get to the moose, we're just zooming in anyway. Okay. All right. Let's clean off with the flat brush. This brush has kind of seen better days. It's really stiff. I can loosen up the bristles, and maybe I'll do that one day. But it's a pretty cool guy. I'll put it here by the mountain. But you see, I cut it. Okay, so it's a flat one there. Okay. But I like it. It serves me quite well. All right, enough playing. Let's get back into some sap, into our sap green here. I got sap green. I'm gonna dip a little bit of white in the sap green to brighten up a slight bit. And a little hint of crimson. A little more than that hint of crimson, just like that. Okay, and maybe a little bit of this dark mix, kind of gray it out a little bit. Okay, that's good. And I'm only using the tip of the brush, like so. All right. Okay, let's travel. Let's go down here. All right, and maybe we'll zoom in a little bit. And we're gonna just start. Actually, let's go in reverse. Let's turn it upside down, and we're gonna give it a slight push. I'm gonna touch and give it a little push like that, and get our greens going like that, just like this. You see how I'm putting it right in there, right by the branches. I'm just giving it a slight push, just like so. I'm gonna vary the colors now. Still doing the push, but I'm adding some crimson in this. Okay, and it'll just darken it up a little bit. I'll go a little more extreme a little bit later on, but right now we're getting in, establishing some of the tall grasses in there. Just a push. And when I uncover the mousse, we're going to add all of that in there anyway, so it all kind of matches. Okay, we'll put some of that out in there, just like that. Yeah, man. All in that corner. Never forget the corner, and down below. All right. Okay, I'm gathering some more sap green. I'm gathering a little bit of that dark color that we use for the mountain, and a little more of that crimson. Getting plenty of it. Turn it back upside down. See, only the tip. I'm gonna turn it back upside down again, and let's go here from the bottom. We're gonna really cover up the bottom a little bit. It's just me pushing in various directions. Don't drag it, it's just a push. All up under here. And we're just pushing. Trying not to make it look like little toy soldiers or anything like that. Let the brush do the work for you. If you feel it's not coming out, get some more of the color. And remember, we're still working with the bottom half of the brush. Just a slight push. Cover up the bottom of the trees a little bit. All right. Just like that. Now I'm going to add some more coloring in here, into this, to get it a little deeper out here in the front. Okay. We're gonna get a little. All right, and here we go. Just like that. Now the dark color, remember, is a umber. And you're just adding a little push in certain spots. See, particularly down here, down below. And up under where it would be represented at his belly. His belly. He's a big guy. He got a little shadow going on over here by his neck and all of that good stuff. Okay, down by his rear, over here, got some shadow happening. But usually over here by the trees. Okay, I'm just getting some more color. Only takes a second. And once again, we're just gonna give it a little push, just like so. Go in different directions, just like that. Don't make them look like 10 soldiers standing around. Okay. And this is all foreground color, as you can see. All in the foreground here. We'll get some stringy things happening with this also. We'll highlight some of these. Highlights aren't too bad. Matter of fact, you can get kind of cute with the highlights. Let's clean out the brush. Only takes a second to clean out such a small brush. All right. Like I say, we're concentrating on this stuff down below. Let's get a little bit of yellow going here. A little bit of yellow. A slight touch of red in that yellow. Can I get away with a little white? Is there a little white hanging around? Okay. All right. We're gonna touch up a few highlights, just like that. A little push there. Look at that. Get some going in other directions there, like this. Some hanging around there. And we'll get some long ones hanging around on the outside out there. Just don't make them look, like I say, like 10 soldiers. Something out here, hanging around out there. Just a little lifting up the brush, that's all. I'll just flip the brush over, get a little, these are like little fire plants there. We'll put a couple of them little fire guys in there like that. I like the brightness, so we'll get a couple. If I can, yeah, nope, ran out. Hold on, a little more yellow. There we go. Just a couple of them hanging around out there. Pop in a few around the tree trunks there. Brush some of that down. Get something highlighted around there, like so. Not random. Think you guys can, yeah, you guys can see some of that there. Okay, we'll pan this camera around. You guys can check it out. See, it's not bad. It's all only in the front. Only in the front. And as you can see, okay, you got the dark here in the front, got a little more detail. It's darker here in the back, a little darker in the back there. Then you got these guys out here. Oh, out here in the back. Let's go a little higher so I can show you. Got these guys out there in the back. All right. I know I'm doing a little extra for a fur video. Okay, let's pan this out just a wee bit. With that said, I'm dipping back into my titanium yellow. I'm just going to pick a spot. I need bright, so going into my titanium white. My titanium white will help this yellow stand out and be a little more on the opaque side. Okay. And all I'm going to do is just some pretty little highlights. You see the highlights on the mountain? Okay, we're going to go here. A slight touch, just like this. Look what I'm doing now. It's a slight touch like that. Leave that alone. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right, now we're going to do another one here. We're going to round this one off here. Just like that. Round it off, just like that. And maybe a little bit there. It's a slight touch. I'm just slightly touching that. And we'll put a couple of doers up here. Really tiny, bunch of few. Okay, and then you get thinner around in there. You do a couple in here, up at the top here. A couple of them in here. A couple little patches in there. Maybe you can have one trying to catch a little something there. Okay, and you know you go around and just in various little spots. There might be a little something trying to peek in over there. You get a couple in here coming down a little bit. Maybe a little curve in there. Okay. Maybe a stronger one in there like that. But just a little bit, showcasing some things back there. I don't think I need any more highlights anywhere else. Okay, I think all of that is fine. So let's clean off the brush. I'm going to add some tiny little baby branches to some of these foreground trees. But we're going to go in here. That should be fine for you guys. And we're going to get some thin branches. Knock off some thin branches. Let's go this way. There we go. Something like that. It had to be, believe it or not, watered down a little more. And I'm just twirling the brush around. It has to be really loose. There we go. And you know, have it go off the page. Series of Y's and all of that. Got to keep it consistent. I need more water. This paint's pretty thick. Grumbarker paint is really thick. So I'm just putting water into it, stirring it up. And all right, I kind of like where this is headed. And we'll put another one in there, coming down. He's coming downward, down. I'm twirling the brush as I'm doing it, just down in these kind of odd directions or whatever. Go over the plants a little bit. Okay, let's go on the other side. The other side needs a little love too. We're gonna come up and out and up. Go across the other plant too, like that. The other tree. It kind of helps bring one in front of the other. Just like that. Bring it right in front of that guy. Okay, just like that. Have them branch off, go off the page a little bit, go into that dark. All right, just getting some more, stirring it around. we're gonna give the other plant some love too. We're gonna have him get his plant on, his branch on too. He's gonna go behind the other plant here and go around like so. You guys can keep playing with this all day. Really, I'm just getting some more paint. I got it little loose. This is just the umber and the phthalo blue. Just like that, go around the other plant. Well, I mean, it is a technical plant. It's a freaking tree, though. So forgive me. But just like that. Okay. The third guy, we can make him a little thicker. He's gonna go in front. He's in front of these other ones, so we'll give him a thicker one right here, going in front of that guy and coming across the front of this guy. Have him have a nice long one like that. See, he's got his arm stretched, so I might exaggerate this fella, make it a little thicker here, that you know he's in front of these other two, just like that, and then I can squirm him out. He's a thicker branch. As a matter of fact, he gets thicker here at the base, just like that. And because he's a bigger one, he gets a little bit of shadow time too, little highlights and shadow rather. But I'm gonna take this branch, I'm gonna go up and off the panel like that. There. Yeah, he gets a little love, a little highlight there, this guy. All right. I'm just rinsing off the brush real quick. The highlight don't have to be too fancy. I'm just gonna get a little bit of white mixed in with yellow. No medium. And he's brighter, and it's gonna break. It's gonna come across. It's gonna break. It's all right. Look, that adds red to it. It's okay. Let it break. All right. But there you go with this guy. Just like that. I can get some of that out of there. I highlighted the wrong, well, not necessarily the wrong side, but I kind of like the way it's looking. Matter of fact, let me get some of that white and yellow. I kind of like the idea of that. A little bit of dry brush. I'm going straight down. It'll break, it'll catch. It sometimes will catch, it won't catch. It's okay. Just like that. I'm just going to highlight a few of these guys, just like this. Just like that. Let it break. Make sure you don't go over your cross the other branches there. Just like that. I like that. When it's a dry brush, what it's doing. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry. And we're gonna aim downward a little bit. Okay. What it's doing is breaking up, going across the other paint. Oh, you guys can't see that. It was way too low. There it is down there. So let me pull back a little more. Raise it up. We'll continue this in a second here. There. All right. But you see how it's breaking up? And it's doing some more. There it goes. It's just going to break up. The more you dry brush it and the more you use it, it's going to just break up into little inconsistent pieces, which is what you want it to do. You're going to always rub it out if you feel it's too strong. Just like that. I don't feel it's too strong. Put some more up in there like that. Just like so. Or you can just do a patch like this. And you just rub it in there. Just like that. You do the same exact thing for the shading side and all of that. Okay, while I'm here, we can't have these guys have no branches, right? They didn't get a treectomy. Just like so. If it has to be a little darker, it has to be a little darker, but go in various directions with it. Don't be scared. Okay. Keep them dark though. Keep them dark. They gotta show. And if they don't appear to show, make them darker, just like that. Just like that. just itching my chin. All right, and we'll keep it moving here. Put one right here. Go up across the mountain a little bit. I'm going into a little bit of the deeper mix. That one looks a little greenish. There we go. Going to a little brown there, just like so. All right. So a couple of those. Let's go back out a little bit. Okay. There. You guys should be able to see all that. That's the tape up there, so you guys are fine. All of this for fur. Just like that. Just twirling the brush around. I'm going into the other one here. Series of white strokes. Just like that. Make him a little thicker. Like that. Get some down here. Going across. Don't go across the other tree. Make him behind it. Just like this. And we come down. Have them cross. Like that. We'll put a thicker one right in here. He's gonna need a highlight though, but that's fine. Just like that. Come on down, come on down. Let's get a little bit of the white, a little bit of the yellow, mix them both together, and we'll eke out a baby highlight of some of these fellows right up in here. Just a few. Just a few. Actually, it was really more on this side that they kind of needed the highlight, but it's okay. I don't want to give all of them highlights. Just like that, just a couple of them. Okay, let's pull back a bit, and we're going to take a break because the next time we do this, it'll be the moose. But anyway, well, maybe not. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's do a little something here for the front. While I'm thinking about it, and I'm already here, I'm brightening up the yellow and white mixture. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this mixture. I'm still using the strip liner brush. Just up around in here. Down below, I'm just going to slap in some long grass in various directions. Just a little detail. I'm just going to get some more paint. Now, as you do this, I'm holding my brush far back. Okay. Far back. And using plenty of paint, but I'm just wisping this stuff on, just like that. Get some pretty nice size. Have some come off the page on the other side. It helps surround things, just like that. Have it cross, have some come downward. Okay. And that's all I'm doing. That's all you see me doing. I'm just putting some various ones. I'm need to water up the paint again, turning it around. And this is it. I'm going off the tape, actually, if you're wondering. I'm going off the tape into the painting. That's all I'm doing. So basically, what I'm doing actually is I'm framing in the painting even more, but I'm just being coy about it by using nature. You can do the same thing. I'm curling some like that. You can do the same exact thing. Okay, and I'm just going on down various heights, various directions. Okay, I'm gonna switch to my right hand for a second because it gives me another variance. I was doing everything with the left, and so I'll do everything with the right here. Just be very mindful where you are. Make some taller. Bring some way up here, going downward like that. So that it really helps frame in this guy. Make him a little taller, come out. I don't need him to be much brighter than what you're looking at. Just like that. Okay. And while I'm at it, even though it's not nowhere near finished, usually should be the last thing you do, but I'm gonna do it right now while I'm thinking about it. I'll sneak my initials in here real quick, because I really don't want to think about it when I'm finished. When I'm finished, I'm finished. It will be done today though. There. I'll just put my initials in there right now. Yes, nowhere near done, because we got a giant moose right up in there, and I'm gonna zoom the camera in and we're gonna concentrate on Mr. Moose. I believe I've done all I needed to do really for the overall forest. Okay, technically I don't even need to have this border on, because there's nothing else to be added into the forest. Everything is there that needs to be there. When we come back, I'll zoom this in a way that you guys can see what I do with hair and all of that for the moose. Okay, so until the next time, probably some kind of screen flip or something, I'll be right back, and it'll be time to do the Hey there, welcome back. As you can see, I zoomed everything in. I'm gonna peel this tape off of Mr. Moose here. See if I can do it quite carefully. And as I'm doing it, you'll note that he's got his antler horn things happening. Got a pretty big, bulky moose body. Sorry about that. I got the camera zoomed in quite a bit so you guys can catch this. I'm just, like I say, I'm just taking the masking tape off of this feller. Thought I had him positioned right. Of course I didn't. That's okay. All that takes is a little adjustment. Just try to get most of them in there. I think that will be just about fine. Alrighty then. Anyway, there's Mr. Moose, and the primary subject of this YouTube video is fur. Now, as you can see, there's a nice cutoff right there. That's fine. We're gonna put the colors in there and blend him right in like he belongs there. Okay. As you can see, I did not put much detail on this guy at all. Really don't need to have it. Okay. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of, because the moose has got this deep brownish brown fur. All right. So we're going to go a little dark with a little umber. If I can get some of that umber out of this tube here. I can't see how it yeah, it must have got a little clunky on me. Chunky clunky. So I gotta open up the tube a little bit, because some of it has gotten, it's a color I don't use too much, and when you don't use them, it kind of solidifies a wee bit on the nozzle. So just removing some of that extra clunked up paint. So give me a second here while I clear the airways of this poor tube. There we go. I won't have any trouble now with this fella. Open it right up here. Wow. Now I have a reason to use it. I don't really get into using this color very often, so what's happening right now I deserve because I don't use it enough. Okay, won't have any trouble now with it. So I'm going to get a little bit of this stuff out here, and I really don't need really too much of it. I don't think I'm going to run out. Now we're going to this is the raw umber actually, which has more green in it. The siennas have more red in them, and I'm going to get some sienna out here. The sienna is more or less used probably for the top part of his head and the antlers. But I'm gonna get a bit of that out. Okay. Don't think I'm gonna use too much titanium. Well, yeah, I'll use some titanium white. I won't be using too much of that because I'm primarily focused on the animal itself. And I'm going to sneak off a little bit of this phthalo blue. I'm adjusting the tube right now because the tube is mighty flat, and I use quite a bit of it, and I'm just rolling up the tube here. It kind of forces the paint up to the top. Okay, that's enough of that. And I'll just get a little dab of that. I won't need too much. There, that should be about enough. I'm going to use a series of smaller brushes for this also. But we're going to get right onto it here. All right. Okay. Enough dilly-dallying around, right? I do have a little bit of medium. Don't know how much of it I will be using, but I do have a little bit of it. I'm going to take this brush right here. If I can show it to you, there you go, right here. This little fella. And I'll be doing a lot of coloring and scrumbling with this guy. Okay. So, as of right now, I'll be laying down a nice, I'll lay down a nice, nice coat. I'm gonna use this sienna first. No medium. So what I'm doing, I'm just tapping in all of the undercolor first. As soon as I get that word out of my mouth right. I'm looking for a fine enough, I know I have one. A fine enough, well, can we do it with this one? I think I can get away with it with this guy, let's see. I think so. Okay, I'm going back into my umber. All paint, going into the bristles. This is actually the blending brush. It should handle it enough for me here. Okay, just like that. Up in here, give him a couple of streak lines in here, going in a circular motion. I'm gonna take a fine brush and we're gonna put some fur, and he got little glints of shininess in there and whatnot. Let's take some of this umber. I'm mixing some of this umber in with the dark. And bring some of that. As you see, I'm going along with the body. Just like so. Go along with the body a little bit. Out here, do the same thing. Let's get the stripes going. We're going to highlight. Just like that. We're going to grab a tiny bit of white. The tiniest bit. Now it turns into this light brownish type of color. Just a little bit. And we're going to go downward. Get a little bit more. And I'm stroking some of this into the color. Very light, just like that. You see that? Just like that. And you go along the contour of his body. Up around here, an upward motion. Because it's kind of circular. Okay. Just be careful with it. I'm going around here in a circular motion. We're going to streak a few of them in here. We'll go with the contour of his body. He's a little lit around in this area here. And some of it goes downward like this. Brings it downward like that. I can wipe a lot of that away. Okay, I'm gonna rinse this off real good. Like I say, we're gonna go to a strip liner in a second. Let me rinse this off real good here. We're gonna bring some of that down too. Well, not as much. I'm gonna get a very, very tiny brush. I know I got one around here. It's real slim, tiny. If I don't find it, I'll just use a strip liner. It's okay. But before I do that, I'm going to darken this guy a little more. I'm going to take the 1/2 inch brush. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of glaze. I dipped into the glaze first. I'm taking some phthalo blue. I'm putting it into the glaze. I'm getting more glaze than paint. This phthalo blue will make that brown even darker. Okay, especially up around here. I'm gonna go just like that. Just feather it, like the contour of his fur, and we're gonna bring the rest all up in here. And let it dry. It will make him even darker under there. Now some of that travels. You see this little patch in here? I'm gonna just block that in, right in here. All this is a glaze. And then I'm gonna feather it out. Feather right out. And you can get some of the highlights out of there too. Just like that. I'm gonna feather it around in here. Just like so. Give it a chance to dry. Now that I know where his neck is, I can just put those in there like that. And I'm looking at his fur. It's going downward. Just like so. All right. His beard, a little beard, which will also be hidden, but it's right in here. Right up in there like that. Now, because of the glare, the glare of the glitter. You see that's kind of bright right there, all up in there. But we can take care of that too. That'll be gone. And as I'm looking at it, now we're going to get to darkening part of his face. A lot of his face is in shadow up in here. And right here on the other side, a lot of his face is in shadow. Yes, we're going to use this there. I'm going to use this blue to do it. All up in shadow. Deep shadow. Up in here is in deep shadow. Where his antlers meet, also in deep shadow, right in here. As you see, it gets darker as it dries. Okay. Up in here, in the center part of his nose, right in here, it's almost like a triangle. It gets wider down here and narrow up there. Much like that. All right. This little light spots here are going to be where his nose is. So his nose, nostrils, and his eyes will be pretty dark. Let me get a little bit of, I'll use the script liner for this. I want to put it where his nose is. I'm getting just water. I'm getting the phthalo blue, and I'm getting the umber. Phthalo blue and the umber. Get it in there pretty good. Because what I need is a nice, very crisp dark. Okay, and I'm going to darken in that nostril there. And if you can't tell, you see how dark it is? And we're going to do that again. Whoops, that's my mistake. Put it in more blue. My brush went right into the blue, but it's okay. Up around in this area here. His lips actually are here. You can barely see it, but they're in there. But you can see where the nostrils are. I'm going to deepen his eyes here. Right up in here. Like so. Like I say, you probably barely see it. It is remarkably dark. Alright. I'm going to take a little bit of titanium white. We're going to highlight the little bit of his lid. A little glint in his eye. Just a little bit of highlight. Just like that. I don't need too much. Like I say, I'm just scrumbling in some of the color there. Just like that. And we'll blend that in a little bit into his scalp area there where his center horn is. Much like that. Okie dokie then. We're going to lightly scrumble in some dark where the lightness is. Just a little bit, just to blend it a little bit. Especially up around in here. right here around his eye. Color that in a little bit. Just like that. We darken this area here a little more, I should say. Just like that. Okay. So then there's a little smooth transition of color in there. I'm going to get a little bit of umber, tap it into the bristles, tiny bit of white, and we're going to give him a little something right above his brow, above both brows there, like that, toward the edge. Brighten that up a little bit like that. We're going to brighten some of that up around in here too, just like that. And a little touch right here on the corner. A little touch right on the corner. Up around in here, we're going to lighten that up a little bit too. And we're going to blend some of that right there. So it's not a hard edge on this guy. A little bit of white. A little bit of, it's not umber or sienna. I'm sorry, excuse me. A little bit of white, a little bit of sienna, right up around in here. And it's just a quick flick. More in the center. It's like that, a little more in the center there. Rub that in a little bit like that. Really not too much, a little bit on the tail end here. Okay, just a little wee bit. We're gonna get rid of some of that dark, light area there. I'm gonna put some dark in there. So I'm gonna clean off my little brush here, wipe it off, and we're gonna get some sienna, or some umber rather. We're going to pat some of that. We're going to disappear some of that right there. Get some of that out of there. Just like that. Okay, get rid of some of that. Tap some of that out of there. Out of here too. Just kill some of that. Just a little bit. Like I say, he's pretty dark in there, especially up around in this area here. It's not as much light. Okay, those antlers, we'll contend to those a little bit later. All right, now just to have a little bit of dipping into some water, I'm going into my sienna. A slight touch of white. I'm going to lighten up that sienna just a little bit. I'm adding water in it. If I had I do have it, I can't find it. A really tiny brush, smaller than this guy. I could really get it done right for you. But we're gonna go with the contours of him. Okay. It's like the tiniest lines. But you're gonna follow the flow of his, kind of like his rear a little bit. Like a semicircle. But then as you go down there, it comes back up again. It doesn't take too many lines to do it, but they just got to be a little on the consistent side. And I can put my finger there, I can like get some of the really glaring ones out around his hindquarters, almost like that. Very tiny. But you're going around the contour of the animal. So you know it goes down. You got to think almost like a ball. But then there's a center. I'm turning my brush around. Just like that. Go on around. Remember, this is straight in the center, and you're going around. I'm just making an example. Okay, but I'm gonna just take my finger and I'm gonna pat some of that, so it's not too glaringly obvious, but it's in there enough that you can see there's pattern of his fur. Short lines. And as you know, the more time you have to do this, okay, I want really fine streaks going down the pattern. You got to have, he has a pattern now. Remember, the fur has a pattern, and that's what sells this, is that he has a pattern. The fur does have a pattern. I'm coming around here where his neck is, okay, just like that. Fur has a pattern. All up around in here. Don't rush it. Once you get into the groove of it, you'll kind of see. And I'm just taking my finger, I'm just touching it to where it's not overly bright. All right. Here won't matter because it's just dead dark all up under here. All in here, really dark. But I gave you some of the stripe patterns all up in there. All right. Let me get some more of this light color, just a little bit more. Where his back is in that lump, it kind of goes. Now this is a little thick, but it goes around like so. It kind of curves outward, outward, comes back in like so. I can blend some of those away. So okay, just like that. Now where it might be a little too bright, or it looks too bright in the camera, this spot here, it actually isn't if you look at it in person. But because it's a little too glaring, I'm gonna glaze some, I'm gonna glaze a little bit of umber on that. Let me clean this brush. I'm gonna dip into the glaze, a little bit of glaze. Pick another spot here, get some umber. And it's gonna be more glaze than the umber itself. And maybe give it a light touch of color right there. Just a light. That brightness will still shine through, but not as much. All right. Like I said, I'm just darkening up some spots. But just because I use the umber, don't mean it's gonna still show the stripes and whatever underneath that. So don't worry about that. Up around here, I can subdue some of those stripes like that. Everything that I'm doing is kind of like up here around his nose. We're gonna darken it a little bit there. Just like that. We're gonna soften up some spots here on his face. Just like that. Now his antlers. His antlers are fairly dark. Okay. And what I'm going to do with the glaze, I say this is just the glaze here. I'm going to glaze the dark part of it. And if we're going to put other colors in here, but they are super dark, but not black, but they are dark. But I'm going to put the glaze on here just for different tones and values and whatnot. Going back into my glaze still. Go on the other side of the antlers. Like I said, it appears light now, but give it a couple passes. This one here is a little darker, and that's cool. And I'm gonna let the tones and shades and whatever, the different values that it's creating as I'm doing this, I'm gonna let them stay when I layer on the other color for his antlers. We're coming now. It's starting to look like a mousse now, though, right? See, there's always an ugly stage to when you're doing acrylics. Till you start layering and fine tuning things, it all comes together. So, once again, don't panic. Okay. There. Now remember, this is the lighter side, but the lighter side looks darker because I didn't really darken anything yet. But it's coming, trust me. Sooner than you think. All right, remember that baby brush that I like so much? This little guy? We're gonna have fun with him, like right now. I'm going into nothing but the umber. Now, I'm going in, I'm gonna touch a little bit of blue into that umber. But wait, there's more. Going into my glaze, my medium of glycerin and shampoo mix, we're gonna loosen some of that up. Now we got a blue umber mix. Phthalo blue and raw umber, very dark mix. Now we're gonna darken these guys red in. And on some of these guys, we're gonna pop in some highlights. Now, as I'm doing this, when I go to the edge, I'm not gonna keep the edge all sharp because they got little micro hairs on these antlers. Gives it kind of a little, still a fuzzy look, and I'm gonna keep that look. Just like that. Keep it right in there like that. Okay. Getting some more into my little bluish glazy mix here. Go right on the other side. More of the same. Scrumble it right in there. Especially when it comes around the edge, you can make it kind of, the edge is a little soft because it's got that little micro hair. And don't worry, we're going to highlight a few of these guys. They're subtle, but they're in there just to give shape to the horns and whatnot. Just like that. Now, I am going to clean off my little baby brush. Going into the script liner. I'm going to take some sienna and I'll take some white, titanium white and sienna, and some water. Loosen it right up here. And we'll play with a few highlights. They're like little tiny baby highlights. All up in here, like that. A little bit of here. We're gonna come down, 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 just like that. And we're coming up around in here a little bit, especially out here on the outside. Just like that. Let it break a little bit. Okay, it's all right. We're gonna come over here where his hair is. Let it break where his horns are. And you're just gonna let it touch, let it break a little bit. It's like that. Come around, come around, come around, just like that. Remember, if it looks glaringly bright now, it won't. Just like that. starting to look more like an animal now? I told you, I won't steer you wrong, I promise. Something like that around that side there. We got another one. Comes in a little bit. It's like that. It cuts around. Give it a little bit. I'm twirling the brush as I'm doing this. And it's gonna break a little bit. And it's alright. Okay. Matter of fact, I might not want that there. Let's keep that mysterious right up in there. That too. Whatever you don't like, you can just have it go away a little bit. But much like that. As I'm looking at it, checking it out, I don't want that. I want the one spot, I don't want the other one. This one here, I'll just color it back in. Underneath where his beard is pretty dark. It's kind of secluded in there. There. I just want that inside more. Okay. I'm going to darken in this part right in here a little bit better too. All up in here. I'm just rubbing it in. Just blend it a little bit more. Looks like I just blend some of that right out of there. But that's okay. Put it right back in there. Like that. Blend it right up in there. There. Okay. As I keep checking it out here. I still might want some spots a little brighter. Have it catch. So nothing but all titanium white. Now when you use all titanium white, I get a little bit of water. I'm moving to a different spot where I just mess with nothing but the white here. When you use all titanium white, be careful, be very sparse with it, because that's like direct light hitting certain spots. Very selective where you aim the highlights. Just be selective. I'm gonna go out here. It's antlers in the back here. Then I'm gonna destroy that bottom edge a little bit. Fade it right into his antlers a wee bit like that. And maybe scrumble some stuff up in there. Use the finger, rub it a little bit up in here. Rub some of that up in there like that. As I'm playing around here, give him a little something over here, out here. Have it come inside like that. La 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 la. A little something there. Not too much. And up around here in this edge. Let it break a little bit. Just like that. Just let it break. Smooth it out. Smooth out a few. Okay. As I'm checking him out, okay, I want to correct something. because his nostrils are not even. Actually, they should be here and then narrow. They should be around in that area. So I'm going to take some sienna. We're going to make some of that nostril disappear in there like that. So I'm just giving him a reshaping, giving him a nose job here. Just like that. I'll give him a quick nose job. Let that dry a little bit. So his nostrils can be a little even up around that area. So I'll give him a quick nose job. Don't need no nose job. Ta 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 ta. Ta ta. Ta 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 ta. Here we go. Going back into my dark, so I can reshape his nose. Yeah, ta ta ta. Gotta go back into my, make it super dark here. Then I'll pull back. There we go. Something like so. All right, we're not done yet. Bet you thought we were, huh? Remember, even though he's pretty much nicely blended already in there, okay, I guess I can play with that. Why not? I'm taking some umber, going around the edge of him, softening up the bottom edge here. Okay, just a little bit. Soften that up. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to really incorporate him into this picture. He's pretty much in there pretty good now. Okay, actually let me get rid of, darken up some of that in there too. Get rid of some of that outline. Put a little dark blue up in there. Like that. Okay, enough of that. Let's play. Get down to business. All right. I can either take a little sponge and do it, or I can take I'll take a I'll just take this. I'm going into some yellow. I'll put the yellow here. Make some kind of green. Get a little bit of phthalo blue. Plop it in there. Make a nice deep green here. And I'm gonna take some raw umber. Put it in there. Make it nice and kind of gray it out a little bit. There. Okay. And we're gonna get a little touch, just like that corner of the brush. Bring it up in there like that a little bit. Don't worry. It'll ooh, I like that. Kind of centers them a little bit. I like a little bit of that. Get that out of there. See if I can get another one in there. Yeah, I like that. That kind of puts them in there pretty good. See, I just fit them in there. Some of those nice little bright spots in there. It's ultra bright because of the glare of the sunlight for you guys, but believe me, it's just right for him. It is a bull moose. It's a big he. I'll get rid of some of that glare that might be too bright. But something like that. Okie dokie then. I don't know if this fur thing, I helped you out much with it. I hope I did. With this big guy. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Oh no, well, I'll zoom in and let you look at him real good here. I'm not the chief of wildlife, but I can tell you how to do it. As you can see the inside of his antlers there. Now you can see how the sun hits it. We're not surrounded with, excuse me here. Surrounded with dark. Okay. Ooh, almost forgot. And do a little quickie thing here. Almost forgot. Almost, not quite. His ears. Get him a little dark in the inside. Right up in there. And the inside here. I'm just using phthalo blue, believe it or not. See what phthalo blue does on top of brown? It's almost black. And we can deepen some of that in there with it too. Just like that. And we can scrumble in some more of that deep up under his antlers a little bit more too. Just like that. Oh, let's get a little bit more of that blue. I like that way that blue action's working there. Just scrumbling little bits of that into the brown. Pushing it right in there. Just like that. Deepen some of that antler. Gotta show the antler some love here. Deepen it right in there. Deepen it right, rubbing it right into that brown. And when it dries, it's really gonna appear extremely dark. Put it right in there. Okay, that's enough playing around. Alrighty then. That's the kind of deep dark I'm looking for this fella. As a matter of fact, yeah, I think she's good. Right now I'm just well, not really puttering. It's just I'm looking at where I can add the deeper tones, because he does have some up around his eye a little bit, like up around in here, up in here, and it's kind of dark up under there. And that's just where I'm adding. I'm just adding deeper tones of dark. And I'm going to tap in some brown to kill off a little bit of that blue. I'm going to wipe away some of that color so some of that light can come through. I just killed it. Don't like killing it. And I just killed it. But that's okay. I can bring it back. This area right in there. See, I can bring that back. That's nothing. Little sienna. See? Bring it right back a little bit. See how I can bring a little bit of that back? There we go. widen it up a little bit. Like that. But anyway, there's Mr. Moosey. I don't know if I don't know why it's looking that way, but it is. Trying to get a good vantage point, you guys can see this guy, but I guess that's it. I mean, I could lower the light a little bit, and that might make somewhat of a difference. Anyway, there's Mr. Moosey, complete with his fur around the rear, upper back, his neck, the lump of muscle on the back of his neck is, like I say, jet black underneath where all the bushes are and whatnot. But he's just standing there staring at the cameraman, deciding whether or not to maul him. I hope that you learned something from this about fur while you're hearing the people from Artists Till Death doing all their special effects, making resin pours. They're very entertaining, and they're really good at what they do. But that's what I got running in the background. Okay, guys. Don't know what to call this guy, or to call it, period. But it's there, with his fur and how to build on the animal, and all the light tones are not exactly washed away. There are some still around there on the hindquarters, the back of the neck, and whatnot in here, by his feet, by his front feet there. You can still see the eyes and everything, little semblance of his nose and whatnot. But basically, it's supposed to be a fur video. Don't know how much good I did with it, but it's there. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for watching this episode. I hope I didn't miss the mark. I'm pretty sure you'll let me know. And until next time, I shall see you when I see you. Peace.